upwards of 4 years. Yeah. My preference. Have to show cause here and bring him in. Mr. Burke's gone down numerous times. They're not compliant. Bring him in.
I'm retired, so I'm there all day.
I like Steve's idea. I think we should ask you, Cal, to get up there within the next, say, 2 days.
Yeah, well, we can do it right
and
away.
give them 2 days or whatever to
Ultimatum.
comply with whatever they feel.
Or work out a game plan.
Pardon?
Yeah, work
I mean,
out
we
a,
can always
Yeah,
go
and
back
then-
to this
and-
and
and-
just say,
and-
the meeting's
and
gonna
then
go
have-
at such and such a date, correct?
And then when you folks have a problem,
it.
to call, probably call your machine, Cal, that might be the best way, so we don't have a breakdown between the desk man
No,
who's
the other
handling
thing,
an
Joe,
accident or whatever.
the other thing that I would suggest is that Kyle report back to the board as to how the meeting went with these two families.
Exactly.
What their plan is to address it, particularly if
Yeah.
they're not at home and the dogs are gonna be out all day. You know, how are they gonna address it? Get a commitment from them, and then report to us and
Right.
to the residents there, follow up with the phone calls, and if so, then we won't hesitate to call
And
it.
then if they don't
But
comply
give them
with
an opportunity to comply and let them understand that it's risen to this level now.
That's right, that's what
And
I'd like to do.
I, for one
see if
member
I can
of
give
the-
them one last
You know, I, for one member, am not hesitant
resolution
to move
of
forward.
correcting their problem.
I'm not
there.
e-
I'd rather move forward right now.
But
No, I
the,
don't-
the other issue is if they comply, and in 6 months they're out of compliance, I think there has to be a strong message saying that we don't care if it happens 3 weeks from now or 6 months from now, but once it happens again, then you'll be subject to a hearing at that point.
I agree.
And I think we need to forward them what our abilities are in relation to, what can happen with the dogs. You can have them restrained or removed.
Yeah,
So,
well, that's
for noise.
usually what it leads to. I mean, the other
Or
show
noise,
cause
so-
hearings I've gone to, we wound up removing the dogs from the
Right.
town, so it gets serious, that's for sure.
We need to understand that that's an option that the
I mean, how
board.
you people feel about this? I mean, you're all sitting here now, you willing to,
I thought your son told me that these people were approached, and that if it continues, they were either going to be subjected to a fine of $50. Now, what happened to all that? These people,
the barking, the problem with the citation on a barking issue, a leash law or anything like that, unlicensed, unvaccinated, you can just hand a citation, because, you know, we're coming in, the dog's loose. Barking, and it's happened to me time in and time out again, that when I get into court, if I don't have a complainant sitting right there with me, the magistrate throws a citation out, they'll say, you've got someone here that can witness the fact that this dog's been barking like this. The complainant really needs to be with me on a barking dog. Probably one of the worst, this is one of the worst ones to do in a court.
haven't you already approached them, told them?
We've approached them on several occasions.
So what's going to change?
I think, I tend to agree with the suggestion that Steve has made, that we ask the animal control officer to go, one more time. We've had this discussion, it'll be in
Right.
the paper, and, tell them that, you know, it's now in front of the board, it's one level
I think
more
this
serious.
I think this will be a
And then I would
convincing
urge all the
issue.
residents, if in fact, give them a couple days for him to give the warning, and if the noise persists, flood the,
Yeah.
phone of the animal
Yeah.
control
Well, we
officer.
try
The people you have with you, the better it will be.
And insist that it gets logged in. I mean, obviously, there seems to be a,
The owner should have a call.
That's why I want them to call us.
Carl, excuse me, I don't know what the best solution here is. I mean, obviously, there's been a disconnect between the number of calls that have been made and what's been logged in, whether it be the police log or yours.
I
What's
don't know what
the-
to tell you,
what's the
because we
solution?
log, especially a complaint call like that, we would, unless, I mean, even if it was anonymous complaint, we usually put down anonymous caller, and that would have brought us up there, but I don't have them to produce.
Okay, so,
This is the problem.
what would the
I
suggestion
have
be?
a lot of calls in here, if you look, I
No,
don't know,
that's not a report.
yeah, you'll see.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they were very hard to get a hold of because they work a lot. We'd go up there, they wouldn't be home, and we're on a part-time basis, so, you know, it would be in the morning, and then we'd try to, so what we try to do is Jerry works like 8 to 11, and then I'll work like 3 to 6. We'd that way we catch the low-end calls and the high-end
Would it,
calls.
a question, would it be appropriate to send a registered letter to them if you can't reach them?
Yeah, I think in this case, right now, it'd be best for me to talk to them head-on. Let them know the way the situation's going and what they're heading for. And I have gone to several show cause hearings where the dogs were ordered out of town. So I'm no rookie at seeing something like this done.
Can
I don't
ask-
wanna see it done. I don't think any of these people wanna see the dogs removed. But that's what it can lead to, and that's what it probably will lead to if we start having show cause hearings.
What are our options at a show cause hearing?
Well,
Short of removal.
you can make a decision, I would say, you could make a decision to, do whatever you want, like the collar bit, you know, give them the option of putting collars on there to end the problem. Keep the dogs in the house, you know, that's the other option, just take them out to walk them and stuff. There's a lot of options you can, an
And
ultimatum
if they
you
don't,
can
if
give
they don't
them.
wanna, they don't wanna
And
comply
that's
with
a-
those options, then we ask them.
You don't necessarily have to say the dog's gotta be removed from town on the show cause hearing, but.
Given that, I'm more in favor of going for the show cause hearing. These folks have put up with this issue for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not just the spring of '09 they've dealt with this. If we have an option at a show cause hearing and put restrictions and requirements on them, short of removing the dog, I see no reason why. I've seen in your reports, you've gone day after day after day, these people are not home.
Yeah.
Why are we giving them an option? Set it down for a show cause hearing. I mean,
Could do
Look at the
that,
people
too.
that are here on short notice from that area. They're here, it's a concern, it's a problem in that neighborhood. That'd be my preference. I mean, you can see, looking at Mr. Burke's reports, he's gone on calls, and the owners of the dogs aren't home for days at a time. So these folks are gonna have to sit there and listen to these dogs bark. It's in July, they're probably out there in the backyard, it gets hot, I'm sure the dog's gonna
Yeah,
bark.
it's
They're
an
hot.
either-or avenue.
They're in a pen,
Like I say, you can always have the show cause hearing when we've got to this far now, so I would say, whenever you wanna have it, you can have it.
and I think, you know, what will happen if he goes up and does meet with them, so we'll probably have quiet for a couple of months, and it'll start up again. So here we are, we're back
Yep,
to,
but then we remove them.
well,
I mean,
I'm not
you
suggesting
know,
that we should move him on the first show cause, but bring him in on the show cause. That's what we can do, bring him in on the show cause, put some restrictions that's reasonable on these dogs,
I mean,
and on the owners, and then, if there's an issue going forward after that, then the next step is removal. I'm not suggesting I'd be in favor of removing the dogs.
I
No,
mean,
I
I should
would
be the
be after-
first to try to
after they
do
had
this
this warning, I
with
would
the
be.
callers, and you could be the finale to the whole thing. Because once it gets to show cause hearing, it isn't on my decision anymore.
If we,
You've made the suggestion of the callers, they
Right.
haven't done that, it continues to be an issue. I'm still in favor of going forward.
It's an
with
either
show
or,
cause.
you can do it that way, or you can
I think
let
we'll,
me go up and try to do it once myself, and if it doesn't work, then bring it into a show cause hearing, and you give them the ultimatum.
I just think we'll get some result if
Yeah.
we bring him in on a show
Want
cause.
to do that? Fine, it's up to you.
Rena?
I understand what Sean is saying, but I still would like to let them know, and I don't know these people. I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no idea who these dog owners are. I still would like to have Carl one more time, let them know the seriousness of it, because if they ignored it then, on the show cause, I would want the dogs removed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be one of them, so, get a hold of them, then if they ignore it, then if it comes in on a show cause, I say the dogs are gonna be gone. And so I think
Most of the show cause hearings I've gone to, they
And I
got
think if you
one,
relate
they
that
got
to
one
them.
shot by the board to clean it up, and you know what, none of them ever worked anyways, we wound up back, and then the dogs were removed from the town.
So you're asking
That's
for the
even
show,
more
so you're,
supportive of
That's
my
the case.
position.
excuse me, so you're asking for the show cause hearing, Cal?
Right.
That's
I
what you're
mean-
asking for.
You can go either route. Let me try it, if you want me to do it.
The lapse
then
in,
it-
is the lapse in the calls also, there are, periods of time when the dogs don't bark? Is that part
How
of it?
bad has it been here?
I mean,
They were barking today for a couple of hours. Now, the only reason I brought it, I said, I'm retired, so I come out, I don't hear them when I'm inside my house, unless I have my window open.
Yeah.
I go to pick up my mail at the clubhouse, and I can hear them barking. Sometimes I hear them barking while I'm outside doing something, or I've gone out and come back, they're barking for 2 and 3 hours. There are no owners at home in either one of those houses. One dog gets barking, then that gets the other ones going. Somebody made a suggestion, maybe they see deer. But we'd have to have a couple of thousand deer going by there all day for the way they're barking, I'm telling you, it's incredible.
All right, board members, we've got,
What, good, Jeff.
So I very swayed by Sean's input. I think that to be going through this for a long time is a long time. And after a while, you just want to just say, let's just get this darn thing over with and let's do it. So, I would be inclined to go along with what Sean is saying, suggesting.
Up to this point, well, today, we haven't mentioned anybody's name as far as the owners of the dogs on the property. And I understand that there's been some conflict back and forth, and maybe the dog owners don't understand the severity of the situation and what the ramifications could be if we have a show cause hearing. I mean, if the residents here are inclined to give them, another shot before we have a show cause hearing and bring them forward publicly, and again, I'm not looking to embarrass anybody, and I don't know either of these parties either. But if they want to extend the courtesy of giving them one more shot at this thing and getting taking corrective action, then that's fine. But if you're gonna be insistent, that we just pull them in here, and again, it's an embarrassment, certainly. It is a nuisance to you people, and you've been very tolerant up to this point. It's obviously barred to the point where you have to come before us, unfortunately. But again, some people just don't recognize the severity of the situation. I tend to err in favor of giving them a one last shot, extend the courtesy, and if they're not gonna be courteous back and address the situation, then so be it. And again, I'm of the mind that if they don't comply, you take care of the situation.
But they haven't up to this point.
I know they haven't. I know they haven't.
The dog officer. They
I don't
haven't
disagree.
respected their neighbors.
I don't disagree.
And it's several times. It's not as though it's been once or twice. It's been on several occasions.
Right.
I don't think there's any other reasonable option.
My guess is that, and again, I don't know these people, my guess is they didn't think that he has any teeth or any bite, in relation to what a dog officer and animal control officers are limited as to what they can do. We might not have any bite. Well, we do have some bite, and we do have some say.
Which is the show
And if
cause
need,
hearing.
if need be, we'll exercise that.
Well, I
But
think we're
again,
going to
I'm
end
not
up here.
looking to,
We're going to end up, in my opinion, we'll end up there. Whether it's 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, we're going to end up there unless we do it now. So why don't we just cut to the chase
some people,
and have it?
some people need a dope slap.
Yeah, which I
But
think
maybe
would be
not
the show cause.
necessarily publicly. That's all. But
Well,
again, I can go,
If they didn't want it to be public, then they could have done
maybe they didn't recognize that
what's
it goes this
reasonable
far.
when the dog officer had gone
Most
there on
people are
numerous
not aware of the
occasions.
bylaw, and what can and can't be done.
Well,
And
they
again-
should have shown more respect for the neighbors and for the dog
Don't
officer.
disagree. The question methodology, so how do we address it?
Joe?
I would go along with Steve and let's say, as I said, send Kyle up there, and then if there's, and have the residents call the tape number, so there's no loss of communication, and if there's violations, we bring them in, and after they've, or if they refuse to do anything,
Well, if they refuse.
well, hold on now,
after
hold on,
this-
Kyle, please. If they refuse, we're gonna get the calls, and then we're gonna bring them right in.
But I expect a report back from you,
Yes,
a
I do too,
response
on
from
what-
them
on
as
what they're
to
gonna do.
what they're going to do and how they're gonna address it by our next meeting. If we don't have a response or a favorable response, then we have the show cause hearing and move forward.
I agree.
But again, I don't know what the consensus is, if I might, Mr. Chairman, of the people that are here. Do you want to extend the courtesy to them one more time, or you're fed up enough where you just say, to hell with them? As long as it stops.
How
I
would
don't
the
know.
callers work if they're not home to,
Well, they're gonna have
Calls
to,
work automatically.
They
Well,
work
they
when
do.
they back,
Automatic.
yes.
You don't need any control, they work
well,
automatically.
I would think, I'd be in
That's why
favor
I'm
if they
saying,
tried
yeah.
that, but I thought they had to be
Well,
home
this
to
is
do
it,
that.
they gotta,
We're
When
not
they-
solving
when they
anything.
bark, it
have
gives them a
to,
zap.
they have to get these calls.
Yeah.
There's no ends, ifs, or buts.
But-
If they're
I
done-
say go on with Steve.
But Mr. Byrd, you've given them that option previously, and they have said no to that, correct? Did I not understand
No,
you
they
to
didn't
say
say
that?
no outright, they said, we'll
But-
think about it.
And they haven't done
Yeah.
it.
well,
Yeah,
give
they
them,
had-
So
give
they've
them
said
some additional
no.
food for thought.
They've said no.
They have some additional food for thought now, because
think-
if we don't by our next meeting have a favorable response from you, that you believe is gonna be addressed, and a favorable response from the residents down there that's being addressed, then for me, then you move forward, and then address it, and then they've been stupid.
I hope we're not at a show cause hearing if
Sean.
it goes this way in 6 months.
Oh.
Sean,